Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you're all doing well. Midfield, this is what I want to speak about. Yes, a second video today, speaking about our midfield, because after the Rabiot situation, after him saying no for Manchester United, we have no idea why. Because Manchester United, they thought about Casemiro, or because the mother agent of Rabiot said, no, we want more money, we put that aside. But anyway, Rabiot is still a black and white player. He is a Juventino until the end of the season, except of miracles and another team that comes and grab Adrien Rabiot. Otherwise, he's there. So we have at the moment 9 midfielders. Way too much, especially when you are looking at all the papers and you are looking at page 1, page 2, page 3, and there is always the name of Leandro Paredes, because apparently football can't exist, can't be played without Paredes from Paris Saint-Germain, at least according to the ideas of Massimiliano Allegri. Right or wrong, I have no idea. So what I want to do together with you is going through some slides and understand who are these 10 midfielders, what do we know at the moment from the ideas of Massimiliano Allegri. Will there be some sacrifices, and who might be sacrificed? The young players, or maybe even an important player that we were talking about in the video of this morning. I don't know if you were able to see it or not. Anyway, you click the link here or here. I never know where it is, but anyway, you click and you watch the video of this morning. Book the maximum of likes, subscribe to the channel. Sorry for the microphone. We start with the 10 men that we have in our midfield. Actually, it's 9 plus 1. Why? Because I already put Paredes in that midfield. Yeah, because Allegri, he wants him, and apparently Juventus, they will do everything they can to sign Paredes on loan from Paris Saint-Germain, or finding a bit of money to pay him. We don't know, but let's put him in our team. We have 10 midfielders that are already distributed by role, where their best position is on the field. What do we see? That on the left side we have 3 midfielders. Paul Pogba, that starts in that first position, with behind him Adrien Rabiot, and even behind him Nicolo Fagioli, that played in that position at Cremonese. 3 midfielders, a bit too much. Then on the right side we have 3 other ones: Weston McKennie, Zakaria Denis, and then Fabio Miretti, the wonder kid that we have at Juventus. But then even more, we have 4 midfielders that are able to play as a regista, defensive midfielder, the brain of Juventus in that midfield. We are speaking about Leandro Paredes, Locatelli, Rovella, and Arthur. Yes, Arthur. So what do we know about all these players? The first thing is that Rabiot will not go to Manchester United. We know that. We have 7 points. The second one is that Allegri, he wants Paredes. We already said it. The third one, that Allegri, he doesn't believe in Arthur. We know that as well. So I'm taking all the possible options to understand how that midfielder will look like. 4 point is that Allegri, like you, like me, like a lot of people, is a Miretti fanboy. I believe that he created on Twitter an account, Miretti Stan, probably without using the name of Massimiliano Allegri. I believe he is a big fan of Miretti, already speaking a lot good about him, and I already showed it on the games last year. But also this year, the first young player that entered the field was Fabio Miretti. We continue about the things that we know about Locatelli. That Locatelli is a really great regista, especially when Bonucci is not playing. We saw it in pre-season, because when Bonucci is not playing, you see the word from Locatelli that is totally different from when Bonucci is playing. Locatelli is able to go back between Bremer and Gatti, taking that ball and starting to build from the back. When Bonucci is there, we know that the qualities of Bonucci are having the ball and starting himself from the back. So Locatelli is a bit lost in that regista position. If we know that the 4 defenders, we will play with 4, not with 3, but that Bonucci will be a starter, maybe Locatelli in that regista position can be a bit in difficulty, like we saw, for example, versus Sassuolo. But we also know that Locatelli has always been praised by Allegri, even using the words of futuro capitano, future captain, something super incredible for a young player that is just at year 1 of Juventus. The 7th point, the last one, is that Allegri, he said that young players will leave. So if we go here on that chart, we see that we are too much, so we go immediately to the second one. What if Rabiot would have left Juventus? How would our midfield look like? Like this. We see that Rabiot, he disappeared. Fagioli would have been promoted as the backup of Paul Pogba. Probably Arthur, that is not able to go to Valencia because they don't want to pay his salary, that is really huge, would have been put as fourth choice there in the center midfielder and probably even out of the team, not being able to play because you have too many players. But still, there we have so many players. The only benefit of Rabiot leaving, if that would have happened, is we cash in, we pay Paredes, Fagioli promoted to the backup of Paul Pogba. But this is not the case, so let's not stop too much there. We go immediately to the third slide. What I told you is what can happen with the midfield that we have in that case. Arthur is out of the team. No, he's still there, so he will play, he will continue to play if he's not able to find a team. We see that Paredes will be that number 6, that number 5, I don't know what's the number of Regista, but will be a starter. If I understand how much Allegri loves Paredes, guys, I can only imagine, I can only believe that he is an undiscussable starter. Paul Pogba as well, Fagioli disappeared, and Rovella as well. Why did they disappear, the two young players? Because we go back to the words of Allegri that said they are really qualitative players, the three youngsters that we have, but they need playing time. We need, as Juventus, we are responsible, accountable for finding the best journey for our players. So if Rabiot is staying, there is no spot anymore for Rovella. If Arthur is staying, there is no spot anymore for Rovella, Fagioli and Rovella. So that means that our two players are gone and probably Miretti will be the only one that will stay. You will tell me, Beppe, but if you are putting Miretti there, you have Zakaria, you have McKennie. What about Miretti? He will never have any playing time. And why is Locatelli there? Because Locatelli is actually the joker of that team. He can play instead of Pogba, he can play instead of Paredes, he can play instead of Weston McKennie. Still too many players there, because you will probably waste one of your wonder kids, one of your young team, and Allegri said one or two will stay, so they have to find a space for Miretti if it's the only one that will stay. What are we going to? Where are we going to? Towards a big sacrifice. If Arthur will not find any possibility to find a new team, if Rabiot will not go to Manchester like we know, but also not be able to find another team, that means that you have to go for bigger sacrifices. And who do we think that can leave, might leave? It is Weston McKennie. Weston McKennie or even Zakaria, because Zakaria, he came last time in the winter for 5 million euros, so that means that even if you are selling him for 20-25 million, you are cashing in, you are doing a lot of profit on Zakaria. That can be a really great profit, but it would be really a pity, a big pity, to having a player like Zakaria that did always good work with Borussia Mönchengladbach, but also with the Swiss national team, not being able to test him because he has a lot of quality. On the other hand, Weston McKennie is maybe on the market a bit more appetitable. That means that Tottenham asked for him. Even Manchester United, there were some talks about Weston McKennie. Would be a real pity because Allegri really likes him. He has the qualities that none of the other midfielder has, but one of them should leave. Why? First of all, to bring the money that Rabiot was not able to give us, but also to create some space for one of the young players like our friend Miretti. Not only that, because there is another reason. If Locatelli, as we said before, is not able to play as good as a Regista because Bonucci is behind him, or maybe because it's not his natural position, or maybe because he's even giving even better as a box-to-box, that means that going on the left, not possible. There is Pogba. We know that Allegri loves Locatelli and that he will find a space for him on the 11 starters. That means that Locatelli goes toward the right side of the field, and then we are really with too many players. Locatelli on the right, Paredes as a Regista, and Pogba on the left can be the starting 11 midfielders, the starting midfield actually. Why am I putting Weston McKennie out of that team? It's because probably Weston McKennie is more a starter than Zakaria, and Weston McKennie on the bench, I don't know if he will accept it for the remaining part of the season, 21 or 22-23, can be a problem. So this is what I'm thinking can happen. I'm not saying that Weston McKennie could leave, should leave, but there you have the 6 players that can play in our midfield, what means that Arthur will be reintegrated in that team if he's not able to leave. Otherwise, you are paying a player that has 3 more years of contract just to stay in the stands, and this is not possible. So coming back to the conclusion of the video, we can only pray, we can only beg, we can only hope that at least Arthur or even Rabiot can leave the team so that we can keep Weston McKennie, Zakaria and the other ones, and everyone has a fixed spot on the paper, on the sheet. This is what I wanted to explain you. I'm fearing a bit about the offers for McKennie. I'm fearing a bit about Zakaria leaving, but if we have a Locatelli that needs to play, if Paredes is joining, if Pogba will play on the left, guys, there is not enough space for anyone. We were fearing that moment months ago when we were already speaking about the 10 possible midfielders at Juventus. The moment had arrived, because we have how many? 12 days or 13 days to go before the end of the Mercato. Moment has arrived to make some choices. I hope you enjoyed that video. Strange video. Let me think what you are believing will happen. Let me think, or let me know what you want to happen in the comments. Maximum of likes, subscribe to the channel. Grazie, forza, Juve.